What's up, guys? KAMIKAZE-FOX coming to you from IRL, International Racing League F1 2020 on the PS4 platform, and this is the F3 tier, getting ready to kick off round 3 here at Spa. And yes, if you're joining us from another boring real-life Formula 1 race from Spa, hopefully this one will have more action for you than what today's actual F1 race did. Of course, Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes finished 1-2. Shocker. But here in IRL, everything's a little bit of a crapshoot, especially with Codemasters and their illustrious online gameplay so far this year. So last week, if you joined us at Monza, it was a bit hectic. The lobby was full of bugs and glitches, and I want to commend the IRL stewards team. They spent the majority of the week fixing and going through a whole bunch of footage, trying to determine time penalties, what should be added, what should be taken away, who finished where, and I know that F3 was not the only one that had its issues, but it did seem to be the race with the biggest issues. That being said, coming off of last week, we did get an official finishing order, I believe on Friday, so it took them almost a whole week to get it straight, but they finally did. T. Jonas walking away with his first win of the season. Callum Anderson did have the pole position. It was his first pole of the season at Monza. T. Jonas with the win. Ben Fernandez retains his championship points lead as he backs up his win at Canada with a second-place finish at Monza. And Thomas Zenter, 2 podiums in a row, 2 third-place finishes for him. Paco Suarez was 4th. Callum Anderson started on pole, dropped to 5th. Alejandro Gapar was 6th. Bjorn Langfeld was 7th. Sam Thompson was 8th. Logan Arond, who had a very up-and-down day, had a lot of glitches to deal with. He finishes 9th. Thomas Dave was 10th. Rowan Lakely, Brandon Villegas, and James Hallworth. Sanjay Sauerhog was 11th through 14th. And then 15th through 20th were all DNFs, and that was Shay Fox, unfortunately his second DNF in a row, Harry Cooper, Daniel Field, Paul Farthing, Baboon J, and Kevin Harrison, who, if you watched the stream last week, Kevin Harrison apparently wrecked very early on. On my feed and on the live stream, the car continued to circulate the track under safety car conditions until it finally decided it was going to broke randomly in between Lesmos 1 and Lesmos 2. So that's recapping last week. So I do commend the IRL F3 stewards, and actually the whole steward team, because I'm sure it wasn't just one guy doing it all. But running down the driver lineup for today, Alfa Romeo Racing, Kevin Harrison going to be in the seat today, still minus his longtime teammate Jack Yates. Jack Yates actually does have a back problem that has kept him from trying to join the races so far this year, so he'll have another substitute driver today. Paco Suarez will be in the AlphaTauri, Paul Farthing in the McLaren, Epic the Animal, that's Logan Arond in the Haas, Rowan Lakely will be in the Ferrari again, Sanjay Sauerhog be in the Renault, Shay Fox will be in the Williams and looking to finish the race today, Daniel Field will be in the other McLaren, and then longtime teammates T. Jonas and Bjorn Langfeld in the Mercedes AMG Petronas machines, Alejandro Gapar in the Red Bull Racing Flip-Flop Fish, that's Thomas Zentner, who has actually put on quite a good showing here in the first couple of races. He'll be starting in 3rd. Ben Fernandez will be starting in 3rd. He'll be starting in the Haas. He's got 2 third-place finishes. Ben Fernandez will be in the other Red Bull. Just Chris is Chris Van Ravenhorst. He is going to be in the AlphaTauri. Big boy Jewin is Ewan McGregor, and no, I don't think it's that Ewan McGregor, but that's not going to stop me from making Star Wars jokes all day. Brandon Villegas is also a reserve driver. He will be in a car as well. And then Patuka 16 is going to be Peter Sundberg. Sassy Pickle is also a reserve, and that is Adrian Villarroel. Royale. How about just Villarreal, like the soccer team? Come on, man. And that is going to round out the drivers. I think we're actually waiting for a couple other drivers to join, and then the reserves will get their assigned seating for the day. And we've got guys chiming in on the live chat already. We got Sanjay Sauerhog, Francisco Camacho. Eric Pettington, may the force be with me. He's going to be in on the Star Wars jokes all day. And I think, I'm not sure who we're waiting on at this point, but looks like we're waiting on James Hallworth to possibly join the lineup for today. And yes, now we are all in on the Star Wars jokes. And I'm being told that VTR Hyper Revs is Baboon J. Jay's got a last name too, but I don't know how to pronounce it. There he is. He'll be in the Ferrari. That is Baboon J. He is the actual Ferrari driver. So we're just going to refer to him as Jay because I can't say his last name. The Nigerian going to be in the Ferrari today. And session getting ready to start in the next 30 seconds. So we're going to do an 18-minute short qualifying session followed by a 50% race. Round 3 here at Spa-Francorchamps. And fitting that we're racing here today after real Formula 1 race there today. Unfortunately, it was a lackluster race at the front. Mid-pack was pretty good day. Congratulations, Pierre Gasly, on getting driver of the day. He put on a good show, as did Lando Norris. And Daniel Ricciardo with a great run and the fastest lap. So congratulations to Daniel Ricciardo. Looks like Renault's finally starting to get some things put together. Just in the nick of time for Ricciardo to leave. And Carlos Sainz has got to be shaking his head at Ferrari this year. But I partially blame the FIA. It is a problem when the 6 slowest cars on track are all powered by Ferrari. And I don't think that is all of Ferrari's doing. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And people are still going on about Star Wars. That's what you get, Ewan McGregor. You should have changed your name. Or you should have just rolled with it. You should have just been Obi-Wan. Uh-oh, and it looks like we might have a little bit of rain sprinkling in the area here for qualifying. So this could make things semi-interesting because it looks like it's very light rain. So does anybody gamble, go out on slicks, see how it goes? Do the guys go out on intermediates because the track may be a little wet? And Shay Fox has already left the session, so possible internet issues there for him. And there we go, get everything set up here. Looks like we finally do have a couple of guys leaving the garage. So let's pick up. It looks like everybody right now is out on the intermediate tires. It looks like Alejandro Gapar is the first driver out. So this could be interesting. Rain is actually starting to pick up a little bit. So the question becomes, and Eric Pennington pointed it out, that the slicks show good data. People could switch over to the slicks, but it's starting to pick up as far as the rain goes. So data could show that possibly will there be a changeover from intermediates to full wets for the qualifying session and shake things up just a little bit. Now, for what it's worth, we're watching Alejandro Gapar, and it looks like Alejandro isn't having any traction issues so far. But it's not as if a lot of wear is going to be put on these tires. Guys are going to run maybe a couple, there's the out lap, there's the hot lap, maybe one more hot lap if you didn't get a good one in. So only 3 or 4 laps going to be put on these tires. Not the greatest start for a hot lap, but we'll pick him up right along with Alejandro Gapar down into turn 1. Big lock up into turn 1. And Eau Rouge, hard enough as it is in the dry, has to lift a little bit in the wet and then down the long run of the Kemmel Straight. We've already got a yellow flag at Sector 3, and that looks like that's at close to the bus stop. Gapar obviously goes purple Sector 1, as he's the first driver to set a time through the Les Combs and then down through this right-hander. And then you've got this off-camber downhill right-hander. Oh, and James Hallworth is retired from the session, and that is very early on. That may have been what that yellow flag was for, so that's too bad for Hallworth. He won't be able to set a time, so he'll be starting in 20th. So we continue to ride along with Gapar. And it looks like we've got another yellow flag at Eau Rouge. That could be one of the McLarens or one of the Renaults that's off. Downhill left-hander. Gapar's got a pretty stable looking run here. This is a good run for him. A little bit of a lockup on the right front. Lost a little bit of time through that corner. That's a tough corner because it's a little deceiving. It's one of those corners you can take quicker than you think, but you also can't take it as fast as you think. Now you're flat out down here until you get to the bus stop chicane. Ooh, almost loses the back end under hard braking, locks up the front, back out onto the front stretch, tries to get the power down, dragging the wheels down the front stretch. 153.517 for Alejandro Gapar. He's the first one to set a time, and it was actually a pretty good looking lap for the most part. And Ben Fernandez backs up the Red Bull 1-2 with a 152.950, so good on Fernandez. Looks like Kevin Harrison is just starting a hot lap. And this is Kevin Harrison's bread and butter. This guy's great in the wet. See what kind of time he can put up. Sassy Pickle, 153.153. That's Villarreal going second quickest. So far, Ben Fernandez is the only driver to crack it on the 152s as we ride along with Kevin Harrison. Rowan Lakely with a 153.075. That's a great qualifying effort for him. Paco Suarez, 153.550, fifth quickest. Brandon Villegas, 153.910. Logan O'Ron goes to the top of the charts with a 152.654. We continue to ride along with Kevin Harrison downhill, coming up on the sweeping left-hander. Oh, and Bjorn Langfell's retired from the session. So Bjorn Langfell and James Hallworth both out of this qualifying session. So the wet is, and Baboon J is also out of this session as well. So the wet is definitely calling out some drivers. Harrison very wide on that exit. That's going to cost him a lot of time, and it's also invalidated his lap time. So Harrison will have to go around and try this again. We'll pick up Patuka, and I might be getting some of these names backwards here. Patuka is Peter Sundberg. So Peter Sundberg has come across the line. And both times it looks like his time has been invalidated, so he is yet to set a time as well. We'll pick up Sanjay Sourhawk, see where he's at out on track. Looks like he's coming down to the bus stop chicane now, see what kind of time he can set. And Thomas Zettner is going out on his out lap. 2 podiums in a row for Zettner. We'll pick him up here in a couple minutes. And Sourhawk comes across the line 1:53.699. Good on him. Meanwhile, while all that was happening, T. Jonas has set a time of 1:52.952. Ben Fernandez improves. Oh, I'm sorry. Ben Fernandez did not improve his time. He's still second. So T. Jonas up into third. Chris Van Ravenhorst has gone 6th quickest. Looks like he might be on another flyer. Ooh, almost lost the back end going up Eau Rouge, and he is going to be out of the throttle after a very hairy moment there. So Shea Fox does manage to set a time after lagging out and coming back in. He is a 1:54.131. And he's already invalidated this time, so 9 minutes left to play in the session. Only half the field has set a time. And Ben Fernandez goes quickest, 1:52.282. Picks up 0.4 of a second over Logan Aron's 1:52.654 to take the provisional pole position. And we are still waiting on 9, well, I was going to say 9 drivers to set a time, but 3 of those drivers are out. James Hallworth, Bjorn Langfell, and Baboon J are all out of the qualifying session. Still waiting to see a time from Thomas Zettner. We'll pick him up as he gets ready to start his flying lap. Woo! Dragging them rear wheels down the straightaway. Got on the power hard. Ooh! Touch and go up through Eau Rouge, down the Kemmel Straight, and that DRS slot open. Oh, no DRS. Oh, I guess because of the wet weather. Duh. But he does go purple in Sector 1, so Zettner is on a flyer. Oh, he lost a little bit of time there. Woo! And T. Jonas has retired from the session. I'm not sure if that was on track or if he just decided to retire into the pits and call it a day. 1:52.952. This time he's gone from 3rd to 4th already. Rowan Lakely improved his time to a 1:52.940 to jump into 3rd. Thomas Zettner's just gone purple in Sector 2. Continuing on a flyer and down this flat out straightaway. Down to the bus stop chicane, late on the brakes, locks up the front, almost loses the back end, tries to get the power down, drags them rear wheels, Can't get any grip coming out of there. And a 152.936, so he lost a little bit of time in the third sector. But good on Thomas Zentner. It looks like he might still be on another flying lap to see if he can improve that time. We're going to hang with him, see what kind of time he sets through Sector 1. He is coming up on a little bit of lap traffic. Looks like Rowan Lakely letting him by. Looks like he's a little bit off the pace at Sector 1. A little tighter through that corner this time. Woo. Looks like he's starting to catch the Renault. The Renault is going to get out of the way. That is Sondre Sauerhog, I believe, getting out of the way. And it looks like he may have invalidated his time. So that's going to do it on this flyer for Thomas Zentner. So he'll dive into the pits. We'll pick up Kevin Harrison, who's just starting another hot lap through Eau Rouge. He's yet to set a time. Less than 5 minutes to go, and now some guys need to either be hitting the pits and doing their last set of tire changes. Any final adjustments they want to try and make on the car. Maybe adjust the downforce a little bit. Harrison running a little wide coming out of that left-hander. I know last game, F1 2019, that wall kind of invisibly stuck out and would call a lot of people out. So currently watching Kevin Harrison, Season 6 F2 champion. Now down into F3 as IRL had so many drivers sign up. We touched on it back on week 1, but 142 drivers signed up before the season started. They've actually had more drivers sign up since then. So we're talking 150 plus drivers in this league. There's 5 tiers, and Kevin Harrison dives into the pits again. Oh no, and he's binned it on the pit entry. So Harrison dives into the pits, and he is yet to set a time. And look at all these drivers that haven't set a time. Kevin Harrison, Paul Farthing, Peter Sundberg, Daniel Field. They're all in the pits. As is Ben Fernandez, Logan Arun. Chris Van Ravenhorst has just gone third quickest. 152.786. That's a great qualifying effort for him. Thomas Zentner's on an out lap. Go back to just Chris. Just looking at some of the times here as we continue to watch Chris Van Ravenhorst. He's gone third quickest. Logan Arund is coming out on his out lap. We've got Thomas Zentner on an out lap. Sondre Sauerhog, Brandon Villegas, Ewan McGregor, Paul Farthing, and Daniel Field finally on out laps. And that's Patuka has retired from the session, so that's Peter Sundberg. He's not going to set a time. Ben Fernandez is not going to be able to get out of the pits and get around the start of hot lap, so 1:52.282 is going to be the time to beat. You see, it looks like Rowan Lakely off there trying to let Ravenhorse go by. And he has invalidated his lap time, so Chris Van Ravenhorse, he'll come around with enough time to start another flyer. And while all that was going on, Sassy Pickle went second quickest with a 1:52.462. And he is going to blow the chicane at the end of the Kemmel Straight, so that's going to do it for him. So he's going to be locked in 1:52.462. And I'm just trying to find who exactly. I thought I had his name earlier. Who the hell is Sassy Pickle? Doesn't matter. Sassy Pickle second quickest. Thomas Zentner comes across with a 1:52.443. Not good enough. Drops Pickle down into third. We'll pick up Logan Aron. And Shay Fox has retired from the session. Looks like that was at Eau Rouge. We'll pick up Rowan Lakely. He's heading down towards his backstretch, toward the bus stop chicane. Paul Farthing does finally set a time at a 1:54.738. Good enough for 14th so far. Oh, and Lakely cuts that corner and validates his time, so that's not going to do him any good. He's going to be locked in on 1:52.940. They'll pick up Logan Aron, and he's fastest in Sector 2, it looks like. Down to the bus stop chicane. Good on the brakes there. No lockup. Can he get the power down? Tries to squeeze on the gas just a little bit. Dragging them wheels. Comes across the line. 1:51.792. The first driver to crack into the 151s. Gets the pole position. Ewan McGregor's gone fifth quickest. Alejandro Gapar coming out of the bus stop chicane now. Can he improve upon his time? Currently seventh quickest. And he does not improve his time. We'll pick up Sondre Sauerhog. Looks like he's the last driver on track. And Sondre is going to dive into the pits, and he's going to bin it on the pit entry like Kevin Harrison did. And he is going to retire from the session. And that is going to do it for a qualifying session. Great run at the end of that by Logan Aron to pick up his first pole position of the season. He'll be followed by Ben Fernandez, Thomas Zentner, Sassy Pickle, Ewan McGregor, Chris Van Ravenhorse, Alejandro Gapar, Rowan Lakely, T. Jonas all the way down to 9th after crashing out. Shay Fox does manage to go 10th quickest. Paco Suarez, Andre Sauerhog, Brandon Villegas, Paul Farthing, Kevin Harrison does not set a time. Peter Sundberg, James Hallworth, Bjorn Langfeld, Daniel Field, and Baboon J. All yet to set times. So 5 of those drivers did not set times. And this is surely to be. Now the question is because I don't get to see it, is weather going to be a factor in the race? Probably not. if it's raining in qualifying, it'll probably be a dry race. That's usually how the game goes. And there is Jack Yates on the live chat. Good to see he's tuning in for us. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. As we discussed earlier, he's had a back injury that has kept him from trying to get into his rig and put some laps down. So hopefully he'll be back in the next couple weeks. And Alfa Romeo will be able to put some points on the board. Kevin Harrison struggling in qualifying, which thought would be his bread and butter. He's a good wet weather racer, but we can keep an eye on him today, as it looks like we'll be racing in the dry, and he'll probably run an alternate tire strategy. Usually he's able to work his way through the field using some off-the-cusp tire strategies that seem to work out great for him. And we shall wait for the game to get everybody situated here. Session's going to start in 5 seconds. We'll do the formation lap, then we'll run a 50% race. Doesn't look like weather's going to be a factor today, but Eric Pettington does bring up a good point. Who ran a wet setup for qualifying is going to be stuck with that because of the Parc Ferme rules. And we also do have Luis Wassman on the live chat. Good to see Luis for us. So here is your starting order as we do the formation lap. Logan Aron with his first pole position of the year. And he is going to be looking to try and capitalize on that, as he has only been able to muster a 6th place finish and a 9th place finish in the first 2 rounds. So he'll be looking to try and capitalize on this pole position. Championship points leader, though, Ben Fernandez is going to be starting right behind him. However, can Logan Aron get some help from his teammate, Flip-Flop Fish? That's Thomas Entner. He is currently 3rd in points with 2 third-place finishes to his credit in the first 2 rounds. Sassy Pickle's a reserve. I'm not 100% on his name. I thought I had it earlier, but apparently I don't. But he's going to be starting in 4th. I want to say that was Villarreal, but I can't remember. Big boy Ewan, that's Ewan McGregor. Not that Ewan McGregor, but he's going to be trying to use the powers of the force to work his way through the field as he starts in 5th today. He's also a reserve driver, filling in for Jack Yates, and to be starting in the 5th spot. Chris Van Ravenhorst going to be looking to put some points on the board today as he starts in 6th. And then Alejandro Gapar, Red Bull leading the Constructors' Championship. Can he work his way through the field, give his teammate Ben Fernandez some support up front as he starts in the 7th spot? Rowan Lakely will be starting in the 8th spot, and it looks like he's already having some internet issues as he is disconnected and rejoined the session. T. Jonas, who won last week at Monza, is going to be starting deep in the field in 9th spot. He's going to have a lot of work cut out for him to try and work his way through the field and see if he can get back towards the front. And then Shea Fox, he's 2 for 2 so far this year. 2 starts, 2 DNFs. He'll be looking to finish the race today and put some points on the board. Paco Suarez, coming off of a 4th place finish at Monza last time out, has to work his way through the field, see if he can put some points on the board. And same thing with Sandre Sauerhog. Tried running fastest lap last week, had it almost towards the end, but Logan Aron took it out from underneath of him, so Sandre going to be looking to put some points on the board if he can. And Brandon Villegas, who is a reserve driver, starting in his 3rd race of the season, so good on him. Paul Farthing is still looking to put some points on the board, and Kevin Harrison starting way back in 15th spot. He's got his work cut out for him as he starts on the medium tires. Peter Sundberg is going to be in the 16th spot. James Hallworth is 17th. Bjorn Langfeld's got his work cut out for him to try and get towards the front with his teammate Daniel Field, and Baboon J rounding out your 20 drivers for today's race. We'll wait for the 5 red lights. Lights out, time to run what you brung, and it's a good start for Logan Aron and the Team Haas. Zentner's going to try and dive down to the inside. And we've already got a timing and scoring glitch because Bjorn Langfeld's the leader of this race, even though he started in 9th. Jesus Christ. Baboon J, who started 20th, is currently running in 2nd. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll try and keep up with the battle on track. So it looks like this is Epic the Animal, followed by Ben Fernandez. Fernandez is going to try and dive into the inside. He's got Thomas Zentner behind him and Sassy Pickle the top four. You can throw a blanket over, and they're starting to pull away from the group. Looks like timing and scoring did fix itself a little bit. We've got a pass for the 9th spot. Now this is T. Jonas and Shay Fox. And Shay Fox getting up into the 9th spot. And we've got a caution, yellow flag sector 2. Looks like we may have had an on-off. That's Rowan Lakely. And Lakely's been having some connectivity issues. And as much as I like Rowan Lakely, I think he needs to retire the car from the session and be done. Unfortunately, having some internet issues. Not sure if it's on his end or if it's a lobby glitch. Back to the battle at the front, and Logan Arund has already pulled out to a second gap over Ben Fernandez. And in hot pursuit of that is Thomas Zentner with Sassy Pickle picking up some steam as they headed towards the bus stop chicane. Pickle going to be looking to make a move down at the bus stop chicane, tries to get to the inside. Can he outbrake Zentner? And he's going to try and get to the inside. They both lock up the front wheels. Good on Pickle for getting out of it. Tries to do the crossover move, get the power back down. And this is let Chris Van Ravenhorst catch up to this battle. Meanwhile, Ben Fernandez has got a good run heading into turn 1. He's going to try and get the power down. He's just within that DRS range. The DRS slots will be open come next time around. It's not enabled yet. Got a yellow flag, sector 2, and now it says DRS is enabled. Apparently we are on lap 3. Did I miss something? Okay, so apparently the game has skipped a lap. We are on lap 3, even though that was the opening lap of the race. I love this. Andre Sauerhog is your leader, but that's not true. He's in the pits, running down in the latter half of the grid, so that is a little bit of a glitch there. So Epic, however, you know, and the one thing we didn't discuss is because the drivers qualified on intermediate tires, they were able to do their own tire selection for the race. So you can see there the tire detail. We've got Logan Arund running in the top spot on the medium tires. Ben Fernandez is running on the softs along with Sassy Pickle. Zentner, meanwhile, has put on the mediums as well. So, okay, and now the game has fixed the lap count. It's back down to lap 2. Pickle picks up a 3-second time penalty. Shay Fox picks up another spot. Moves himself into the 8th position. So good on Shay Fox, and he's closing in on Paco Suarez for 7. And it looks like he's going to make a run at him going down towards the bus stop chicane. Suarez takes a very aggressive and defensive line, and Fox is all the way down to the inside. He's going to try and go around the outside heading in there. Suarez is going to try and push him wide. Crossover move from Fox. Tries to get the power down. 3-second time penalty for Paul Farthing. And Fox almost made that move work at the bus stop chicane. And Logan is now pulled out to a 2-second gap over Ben Fernandez. We're continuing to watch Shay Fox, and he's all over the gearbox of Suarez as they head down the Kemmel Straight. DRS slots open for both cars. And it's a drag race down the Kemmel Straight. Who's going to get it going into the next corner? Oh, and Suarez locks up, and they touch just a little bit. Side by side, wheel to wheel. And Shay Fox is still trying to find a way around Suarez. Suarez being very aggressive on his defending. Locks up the right front. Fox trying to get the power down. Can't quite make it work. Unbelievable driving from those two drivers right there. Meanwhile, Chris Van Ravenhorst is closed up on the backside of Thomas Zentner, and Zentner's lost touch with Sassy Pickle. Pickle running in 3rd. And a 3-second time penalty for Sondre Sauerhog. And just a quick note, Mystical 31 has put on the live chat that the race is supposed to get wet towards the end of this race. So we'll see if that does play a factor as this race goes on. We continue to watch Chris Van Ravenhorst. It looks like he's going to try and make a move on Thomas Zentner as he heads out towards the bus stop chicane. Doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to make a move. Heavy on the brakes. And it's turning into a 3-car battle because that is Chris Van Ravenhorst. It looks like that is Okay, isn't Ewan McGregor supposed to be? No, that's, yeah, that's right. I'm getting my liveries confused. So that's, yeah, that's Ewan McGregor in the 6th spot. And now Chris makes the pass. Ravenhorse gets by Thomas Zentner for the 4th spot. Shay Fox did manage to get around Paco Suarez to pick up 7th, so Shay Fox is on the move. His next victim on the hit list will be the Alfa Romeo of Ewan McGregor. McGregor still trying to close in on Thomas Zentner, so we've got ourselves a really good 3-car battle. And Sassy Pickle, meantime, Pickle has caught up to Ben Fernandez and is closing in on Fernandez for the 2nd spot. And Baboon J just picked up a 3-second time penalty. He's down in the 15th spot. He is trying to find a way around James Hallworth. Hallworth running in the Racing Point Mercedes. Whoa, and a big moment there for Baboon J, and it looks like Hallworth had a moment as well. Meanwhile, we've got this 4-car battle. Actually, this is turning into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pretty much 2nd all the way through 10th are all covered at least under a second from each other. So the DRS is going to be in full effect. We'll ride along with Sassy Pickle, see if he can make a move through Eau Rouge up the hill. And he's got the DRS slot open, and he's going to be able to make this pass easily on Ben Fernandez. Meanwhile, Chris Van Ravenhorst has lost touch with that battle just a little bit, and Thomas Zentner still within striking distance. Ewan McGregor right behind him, and now Shay Fox has caught this battle. Then there's a little bit of a gap from Shay Fox back to T. Jonas. That's another group that's battling, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and that's Kevin Harrison at the end of that train. And James Hallworth picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Ewan McGregor is all over the back of Thomas Zentner. Ooh, and he's very close to the gearbox. And Sandre Sauerhog picks up a 3-second time penalty. But look at this, Shay Fox now is closed up on the back of McGregor. Fox swings to the outside, McGregor. Oh, look how late on the brakes Fox is, and he's going to make the move. Unbelievable. Last of the late breakers, Shay Fox trying to make the move. He doesn't have the DRS advantage. Yes, he does. He's got the slide of it, but it's a drag race down the front stretch into turn 1. McGregor's got the more preferred line, and here comes T. Jonas trying to make an undercut. Tried to dive to the inside, gives a little bit of the chrome horn to Shay Fox. And this is going to be very hairy going through Eau Rouge and down the Kemmel Straight. And it's starting to rain. I see raindrops. Side by side, Fox makes the move, looks at the back, and here comes T. Jonas. T. Jonas to the inside. And it's a 2-for-1 deal, but it's backwards. McGregor loses out 2 spots in 1 corner. Shay Fox up to 6th. Meanwhile, Ewan McGregor has lost out on that. He's down to 8th, and Paco Suarez is behind him, threatening to take that spot now. And Zentner just picked up a 3-second time penalty. He's currently running in the 5th spot. And you can just see the sprinkles of rain coming down now. Now, Mystical said it was supposed to rain towards the end of this race. This is coming very early in the going. We're only on lap 6 of 22. I wonder if it'll rain and if it'll clear up towards the end of this race. And this is bad news bears for the guys on the soft tires. So the pit window is now starting to open for guys on the soft tires. It is not wet enough to switch over to the intermediates. And the softs are going to start giving up a lot here in the next number of laps. So if it doesn't get wet quick, the guys on the soft tires are going to be getting called out. And look at this, they got the McLaren. Who are we watching? This is Paul Farthing all over the back of Paco Suarez. And to the outside goes Farthing, and we're about to go 3 wide. Nope. Here comes Kevin Harrison. He is going to go. Oh, they touch! They touch big time! And Suarez almost loses 2 spots, just like Ewan McGregor did last lap. And Suarez has been very aggressive with his defending today, and he almost took out Kevin Harrison. As Brandon Veing is trying to be a part of this battle as well. Meanwhile, we've still got this mid-pack battle up here for points. This is Shea Fox we picked up, and he's closed in on Thomas Zentner. And the rain continues to fall. How wet does the track get and how fast? Who's going to be the first one to pit for intermediate? We've got a yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. Looks like that might be one of the Ferraris, and that is going to be, and it's a virtual safety car. That was Baboon J. Where did his car go off? We pick up Alejandro Gapar. Alejandro will be the next car to pass by the incident. And it looks like it was in that section there. So virtual safety car is out. We've got some guys taking the gamble. We've got some guys heading into the pits. Got some guys staying out. We'll pick up Zentner. Zentner is going to pit. He's going to throw on intermediates. So the guys that are pitting now, they're going to be the first ones to throw on intermediates. But this is a virtual safety car, so this is kind of falling into the hands of Logan Aron, as he is out in front. We're back to green flag racing. Incident is cleared. And we've got a side-by-side battle here. This is Chris Van Ravenhorst, Alejandro Gapar. I'm sorry, Ben Fernandez. Getting my Red Bulls mixed up. And Shea Fox has just become a part of this battle as well. 3-car battle. The rain continues to fall. And now it looks like the slicks are starting to give up a little bit of traction. And Shea Fox all over the championship points leader, Ben Fernandez, as they head down to the sweeping left-hander. Fernandez runs wide just a little bit, and it's going to be very tight through here. And my headset is beeping. My battery is going to die. This is not a good time for any of that to happen. All right, we'll get the headset plugged in and keep up with the action here as we continue to watch Shea Fox trying to work on Ben Fernandez. Oh, and he baits him. He baits him going into the bus stop chicane, and he's going to outbrake him, but they're side by side, and they both try to head into the pits. And Ravenhorst goes in as well. Meanwhile, Logan Aron is still out on the slick tires. Sassy Pickle is pitting now, so Logan's going to run one more lap on the slick tires. Everybody else is now pitting. Bjorn Langfeld stays out. He is 20 seconds behind Logan. And I don't even know who to pick up where. There's so much shuffling going on in the pit lane right now. We're going to stick with Logan Aron because he's the leader out in front to the tune of 19.5 seconds on the slick tires. I don't know if he's trying to gamble and see if he can spread that gap a little bit. If he pitted now, his next threat would be Sassy Pickle. Pickle is running in 30s, the first driver on the intermediate tires. He's got about a 26-second gap. So Logan Aron should still be able to pit and come back out. The pit stop delta is about 23 seconds. The DRS is disabled, so it's now raining hard enough to close off the DRS. And you see Logan sliding the car a little bit through here. How much time is he going to give up in the next few corners? And there's a yellow flag, sector 2. That was a quick on-off. And Chris Van Ravenhorst picks up a 3-second time penalty, and this is going to be close, folks. Sassy is taking chunks of time out of the lead. It's going to be very close. Logan is going to come out, as it stands right now, just in front of Sassy Pickle, depending on how fast this pit stop is. Oh, and Daniel Field is retired from the session. He's crashed at the sweeping left-hander. And we've got ourselves a safety car. We've got ourselves a safety car. This is a saving grace for Logan. And Sassy Pickle is probably banging his hands on the steering wheel right now. And Epic is gone. And he is going to follow the safety car out of the pits. And unbelievable. That is a horseshoe up the butt luck right there for Logan Aron. Epic the Animal out in front. Now, does anybody pit for a fresh set of intermediates? Most of these guys have just come in and put them on, so unbelievable. Unbelievable turn of events here. Logan Aron is probably smiling ear to ear underneath of that helmet of his. Sassy Pickle is banging on his steering wheel, I'm sure. Thomas Zentner is just happy to get a breather after being under attack most of this race. He has managed to work his way back up to third from this. Chris Van Ravenhorst has been going back and forth with Ewan McGregor. McGregor is up into fifth. Ben Fernandez has dropped to the 6th spot, so your championship points leader, not the best pit sequence for him. Paul Farthing was one of the first ones to pit for intermediates, and it looks like it's worked out for him. He is up into the 7th spot. T. Jonas is still down in 8th. Paco Suarez, who has been a very hard driver to get around today, running in 9th, and Kevin Harrison, the Rainmaster, running in the 10th spot. Shay Fox, who was putting on such a good show earlier on in this race on the dry tires, has fallen back to 11th. Brandon Villegas is in the 12th spot. Bjorn Langfeld down in 13th. James Hallworth is in the 14th spot. And Alejandro Gapar has not been able to make any headway this race. He is in the 14th spot. Peter Sundberg is running in 16th. Rowan Lakely, I believe, is his car is still making laps, but he is not actually in the session. He has had internet issues today. So that car continues to make circuits, but basically will be unclassified. And Sandre Sauerhog is going to be bringing up the rear in the 18th spot. We'll wait for him to get to the safety car queue. So, unbelievable 10 laps of this race. The driving in the dry conditions was absolutely spectacular. Logan pulled out an easy 3-second gap over the rest of the field. Sassy Pickle worked his way into second. Good on him. Zentner, who's now in third, was under threat from just about everybody in the midfield. The midfield battle has been amazing, and I do want to give a shout-out to Shay Fox, who put on a stellar drive in the dry conditions to work his way up into fifth. So it'd be fun to watch him try and do it all over again on the intermediates. And Eric Penton saying Epic will push like an animal. And Epic, me and Eric actually had high hopes for Epic. We actually started commentating some races for a defunct league last year called Hit the Apex Racing. That's where we first noticed Epic the Animal. And he was always putting in some hard drives against the championship frontrunners V Rita. And I can't remember the other guy's name, but Epic was always one to watch. And we got him in the IRL, and immediately IRL, his first race in IRL, he picks up a win at Suzuka, backs it up with a podium finish in Brazil. That was the closeout F2 last year. So Epic out in front today, looking for his first podium finish of the year. He started. Oh, we've got some got some debris flying there. Looks like that's a 5-second penalty for Thomas Zentner in the Haas. Now, who did he have a collision with? Who's lost some of their wing? Oh, and it looks like it was Chris Van Ravenhorst has lost the end plate on the left front. So that's not good news for Ravenhorst. Now, the saving grace is that we're in the wet conditions, so obviously you got to slow down when the track's wet, so downforce won't be as huge of a part. And, I mean, I'm not much of an aero engineer, but from a NASCAR or sports car standpoint, in the drier conditions, you want the higher downforce, but in the wetter conditions, you want a little bit more mechanical grip and a little bit softer suspension so that the car will roll a little bit easier and not cause any snap oversteer. So, Van Ravenhorst losing that end plate might not be a very big deal right now, but could be a factor if the rain does in fact dry up and go away. That's yet to be seen, but looks like the track is completely wet at this point, and we'll see if maybe there's a changeover to full wets if it continues to rain this hard, or if we get a dry session if the weather changes, and a 5-second time penalty for Brandon Villegas for a collision with Kevin Harrison. So it looks like the safety car was going in this lap. Now, this is where we ran into some issues last week at Monza. We still had yellow flag conditions, even though the safety car would go in. And the safety car is in the pits. And we're back to green flag racing. Everything's working on timing and scoring. It's a Christmas miracle. So Epic the Animal off to the races. He's got Sassy Pickle and his teammate Thomas Zentner behind him. And Epic already out to an 0.8 of a second gap, and side by side goes Zentner with Sassy Pickle, and Pickle's going to lose out on that battle. The power of the Haas down the straightaway, and a little bit of a lock up there, but good on Thomas Zentner, and now it's a Haas 1-2. Now, Haas did finish 1-2 back in Montreal. Well, they came across the line 1-2, but due to timing and scoring and penalties after the race, they did not finish 1-2 as Ben Fernandez went from 4th to 1st. Logan had 12 seconds worth of penalties back at round 1, and that cost him the win. A big moment there for Thomas Zentner as he loses the back end of the car. And just a quick shout out to Shea Fox. Just on that opening sector, he went from 11th to 9th, so he finds himself back up into the points. Ben Fernandez is looking to make a move on Ewan McGregor here for the 4th spot. So working lap 12 of 22, we're officially halfway through this race, and there's a lot of racing left to go. Through the bus stop chicane. And Fernandez has got a good run coming out of there, and he's going to be all over the back of Ewan McGregor's car. Big lock up there heading into the corner. Try and get the power down. We'll ride along through Eau Rouge. Ooh, he's got to let off the gas big time, but he gets a good run coming up the hill. And now Ewan McGregor is going to be under threat. Side by side as they head down the Kemmel Straight. It's a drag race to the next corner. And it looks like Fernandez is going to win out on this battle. McGregor is going to drop to the 5th position, so good on Ben Fernandez picking up 4th. Meanwhile, T. Jonas is looking to make a move on the McLaren of Paul Farthing. Farthing has worked his way up into 6th. That's a good effort today by Paul Farthing. So T. Jonas, who was so dominant in the first part of last year, had some struggles in the second half of the season. He won last week at Monza, so trying to pick up where he left off a little bit as far as the first part of the season went last year and try and get some of his groove back, but right now running down to the 7th spot. Meanwhile, we've got Shay Fox trying to catch up to what is quickly becoming a nemesis of his, Paco Suarez. And Suarez is, he's very much made it known. He's very much become the Ryan Newman of the IRL F3 stable. For those NASCAR fans out there, for those who are not familiar with NASCAR, Ryan Newman has been dubbed the hardest guy to pass by a lot of the drivers and the commentators for NASCAR. So Paco Suarez has certainly made that true today, been very aggressive on his defending. Nothing illegal. Nothing out of sorts or anything like that, just putting his car in a very precarious position and making guys work for it. And right now, Shay Fox is going to work for it as he heads up the hill through Eau Rouge, and he's got a good run at the top of the hill, down the Kemmel Straight. And again, a drag race down the Kemmel Straight. Can Shay Fox make it work? Suarez has got the inside line, and these two have done this a number of times today. Suarez has got the more preferred line. They bump wheels. Fox is still trying to hang tough on the inside, but Suarez gets that power down. And the rain is actually starting to come down. It looks like a little bit heavier right now, so I'm wondering if we might get a changeover at some point to full wets and to the inside as Suarez runs a little wide in that corner. He tries to get the power down, but Fox can't make that move. There's so much understeer coming down through this hill to begin with, and you see he loses the front end just a little bit. And Kevin Harrison is all over the back of Shay Fox as well, so it's a 3-car battle here for the 8th spot. Big movement there for Paco Suarez, and he comes back into the track. Big moment for Suarez as he saves the car, gets it back on track. Fox is going to try and make the move, and this is not a good spot to try and pass. And again, side by side, he's stuck on the outside. Suarez is going to push him wide. He's almost into the grass, and Suarez relinquishes the spot. Fox runs very wide coming out of that corner, and now Suarez is side by side with Kevin Harrison, and Harrison's going to make the move. Full throttle. Fox is losing ground here, and it's a 3-car battle. Here comes Suarez to the bus stop chicane. He's got the position. Woo, that's close. And here comes Suarez again, trying to get the power down, tries to get the power for the crossover, and he can't make it work. And look at the cars stacked up behind him. And here comes Kevin Harrison to the outside of turn 1. And again, Suarez blocks up the right fronts. Oh, and it's another big twitch there, and they side by side, they're rubbing each other. You can't go side by side to Eau Rouge. This is not going to work. Oh, they make contact, and it's a big moment for Paco Suarez. Oh, and there goes T. Jonas. Kevin Harrison spins, and a virtual safety car is out. Suarez loses the front wing, and that was never going to work. And it looks like Kevin Harrison may come out of this unscathed. And I think Kevin Harrison was virtually flicking off Paco Suarez as he drove by. Woo! Unbelievable racing going on here today. Virtual safety car because of that incident between Paco Suarez and Kevin Harrison at Eau Rouge. Meanwhile, Epic the Animal is the leader of this race to the tune of about 4 seconds over his teammate Thomas Zettner. Zettner still trying to hold off Sassy Pickle and Ben Fernandez. And Rowan Lakely gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Lakely's not even in the car. That goes to show you how good Codemasters is right now. Their own AI car can't even abide by the flag rules in multiplayer. Oh, and Sassy Pickle picks up a drive-through penalty, speeding under the virtual safety car, and that is going to hamper him, and we're back to green flag racing, and he's going to have a penalty to serve. Meanwhile, Paul Farthing is all over the back of Ewan McGregor. And Paul Farthing is at, and we got a yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. We've got a couple cars off and on. Looks like that's actually the AlphaTauris of Paco Suarez and Chris Van Ravenhorst, and Suarez has not even made it back to the pits. And I think Suarez is just trying to end the day. If you're going to do that, Paco, please, please, just retire the car in the pits. Looks like a lot of guys are coming in to switch over to the full wet, so we are getting a switch over. So we continue to watch Suarez, and Suarez is probably going to garner himself a hefty penalty after all this. Yeah, so Paco did exactly what he was trying to do, and really you're supposed to retire the car into the pits. That is going to be frowned upon. So we're under the safety car again because of that. So unnecessarily causing a safety car, Paco Suarez, and that is going to be frowned upon, I'm sure, by the IRL stewards. Coincidentally enough, Paco is one of the stewards, I believe, for another league, or another tier, I should say. But yeah, I mean, that's frowned upon. And not only, I mean, it's, you know, your race is ruined, and that's unfortunate. I get that. You're frustrated, and you just want to be done with it. You really should retire the car into the pits, because now what you've done is compromise the actual race itself. Not even a virtual safety car, the actual safety car. So Logan now has to deal with a whole nother restart. We've got guys that have already come in for the pits, and it does artificially alter the course of the race, and very disappointing on the end of Paco. And Eric Penton bringing up a good point here on the live chat. We talked about Sassy Pickle had a drive-through penalty that he would have to serve under this virtual safety car. Now, there was a safety car glitch last year that Eric Penton brought to my attention late last season on F1 2019, where you could actually start to accelerate before the virtual safety car was actually gone. And Penton saying maybe Sassy Pickle was trying to abuse that again, and we see Logan is going to switch over to the full wets, and Sassy Pickle's day has gone from bad to worse. Not only did he have the drive-through, he now has a 5-second time penalty on top of it with a collision with Peter Sundberg. And it looks like everybody is going to be back into the pits. So the guys that have not switched over to the full wets will be switching over to the full wets. Logan retains his lead coming out of the pits, but Ben Fernandez has now found his way back into the second spot, your championship points leader, picking up where he's left off the last two races. Ewan McGregor has used the powers of the Force to work his way into the third spot. He's got Thomas Zentner all over the back of him. And this is going to be a fairly interesting, this is going to be like probably a 3 or 4 lap shootout towards the end of this race. And Peter Sundberg, I don't know if this was by design or if it was an accident, but Peter Sundberg pitted for a fresh set of intermediates. He is the only driver, with the exception of Chris Van Ravenhorst, to be on intermediates, and Chris didn't actually pit. He's on 4-lap old intermediates, so Logan Arond is your leader, followed by Ben Fernandez, followed by Ewan McGregor, followed by Thomas Zentner. And Paul Farthing has worked his way up into 5th. That is a great run for him considering where he qualified. We've got T. Jonas has managed to work his way into the 6th spot. Shay Fox is back up into 7th. Ravenhorst we talked about is in 8th. James Hallworth has quietly worked his way into 9th. And Alejandro Gapar is into the 10th spot. That is your top 10 points paying positions. Bjorn Langfell is in 11th. So we see the Family Guy. It's raining sideways. Kevin Harrison, or Sassy Pickle, is now down to 12th. He was battling for the lead of this race. He's now down to 12th. Kevin Harrison is into the 13th spot. Sandre Sauerhog hasn't made very much headway today as he continues to run in 14th. Peter Sundberg is in the 15th spot. Rowan Lakely's AI car continues to circulate in 17th, and Brandon Villegas is rounding out your 17 remaining drivers. And it does look like what is going on here. Thomas Zentner is going to pits. And why is Thomas Sentner? We've got a couple other guys. Kevin Harrison diving in. That wasn't Harrison. That was a couple other guys diving into the pit. So what is Zentner doing? Zentner's pitting for another set of soft tires. Oh, and a new front wing. So that's going to put Zentner all the way back to 17th. And look at this. You see Chris Van Ravenhorst, Zentner, and Peter Sundberg all pitting. Fresh set of softs, wings, serving penalties and whatnot. So that moves Big Boy Ewan. That's Ewan McGregor up into the third spot. Paul Farthing into fourth. Yeah, sorry, Mystical. I don't usually check penalties during the race. I like to see how it pans out at the end. I like to keep that drama up. So it looks like everybody has caught the safety car cue. We should get a notification here very shortly that the... Oh no, and Thomas Zentner's just retired from the session. What has happened to Thomas Zentner? Did he retire under his own accord, or has he crashed out under safety car conditions? And it looks like his car is not moving. And Zentner has left the session, so that is that's unfortunate for him. He was 2 straight third-place finishes for Zentner, and today he's going to be credited with his first DNF of the season. So now it's all on the shoulders of Logan Oran for Team Haas, and the safety car is going to be in this lap. So it is going to be a 4-lap shootout, presumably, unless we have another safety car, which, as heavy as the rain is coming down, you can see the standing water on parts of this track. And remember, there is no passing before the start-finish line, so Logan's going to bring them down to the bus stop chicane very, very slowly. And out of the bus stop chicane, and green, 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 we are back to green flag racing. And did Shay Fox just make a move to the 6th spot? Meanwhile, Ewan McGregor got a great job. Oh, and it's 3 wide down into turn 1. Oh, no, and Logan runs wide coming out of the corner. And look at this, Ewan McGregor. Using the force and tricks that Yoda taught him, takes the lead heading down into Eau Rouge. And Logan is going to be really mad about this because here comes Paul Farthing. And he's up in the third, and it's 5 cars down into 1 corner. What's going to happen here? So unbelievable move by Ewan McGregor to take up the top spot. Paul Farthing is into third, and Epic the Animal Logan Aron, who's been the dominant car this whole race, has fallen back to fourth. And this is exactly what I was talking about. This is why Paco Suarez should not have done what he did. It artificially alters the course of this race, and I don't know what the repercussions will be after this, but there definitely needs to be a severe clampdown on drivers crashing out of a race on purpose. It is entirely uncalled for. It is unfair to all the other drivers on track, and that's all I've got to say about it. I'm not an administrator. I'm not a steward. If I was, I would definitely have some harsh words for Paco Suarez after this race. That being said, we're working lap 19 of 22, and Ewan McGregor is out in front. And Ben Fernandez still manages to find himself in second spot, and a great run today by Paul Farthing. Epic the Animal all over the back of him, and I know Epic is going to be fuming about what has transpired. Shay Fox is up to the 5th spot, though, so good on Shay Fox. T. Jonas is into 6th. And Peter Sundberg has retired from the session. And it looks like Peter has retired into the pits like a proper driver should. Yellow flag sector 1 and 2, and it looks like that is going to be Sandre Sauerhog. Looks like he's had a moment at Eau Rouge and lost it coming up the hill. Now, Epic has managed to work his way back onto the podium and picking up 3rd spot, taking it away from Paul Farthing. Oh, and Farthing's making contact with Shay Fox. There's a little bit of contact there at the downhill right-hander. Fox let off the gas, looks like. Give the spot back to Farthing. Kevin Harrison, meanwhile, closing in on Sassy Pickle, and Pickle's had a very up and down day, and it's very down for the most part now. It's raining sideways. So Harrison trying to close in on this battle. Meanwhile, is there enough time for Logan to get back to the top spot? And another yellow flag, sector 3, and it looks like, again, that is going to be Sandre Sauerhog. He is racing with the AI car of Rowan Lakely, so side-by-side battle here, though. This is Sassy Pickle and Kevin Harrison. Harrison's going to pick up the 9th spot. So Harrison moves himself up into 9th. And this is where it all went wrong for Logan last time. He pushed wide coming out of that corner, trying to get the power down. Meanwhile, Shay Fox all over Paul Farthing. Can he get a good run to the top of Eau Rouge? No DRS advantage. Wet tires. Everybody's on equal playing field right now. The rain, the great equalizer, showing who's got what. Fox able to close up a little bit. Meanwhile, Ben Fernandez has closed in the gap onto Ewan McGregor, and this 3-car battle here for the lead is starting to heat up with a lap and a half to go. Logan looks like he's pushing his car a little bit, trying to see if he can make up some time. Now, Ben Fernandez was within 4/10. He's lost a car length or so to that. Kevin Harrison picks up a 3-second time penalty. And as close as all the cars are together, you can see just about all the cars are within a second of each other. With the exception of Paul Farthing, he's about 2 seconds back from Epic the Animal. And Farthing, he's 2 seconds back. He's got a slew of cars behind him, all within half a second of each other. And down into the bus stop chicane, the penultimate lap. And now the white flag is going to come out last time by. This one's for all the marbles, your top 3 trying to run away with this. Who's going to be between these 3 drivers? Ben Fernandez, Logan Aron trying to chase down Ewan McGregor. Can Logan get a run up the hill? Closes the gap a little bit, and this is the closest that these 2 drivers have been to Ewan McGregor. And here he goes. Ben Fernandez pulls out of the slipstream, tries to get to the inside, and Logan's trying to go around the outside of Ben Fernandez to take the 2nd spot. And this has been a little bit of a sigh of relief for McGregor. McGregor gets able to separate himself from these 2 just a little bit. Logan still trying to find a way around Ben Fernandez for that 2nd spot. And these three still battling it out. Coming down towards the last part, they're going to be full throttle coming out of this corner, out of the right-hander, power down. And Chris Van Ravenhorst picks up a 3-second time penalty. Down into the bus stop chicane. Anybody would trying to make a last-ditch effort. They're all nose to tail, but nobody's going to be able to make a move. And here we go, time penalties. We'll see what the time penalties are at the end of this race. Ewan McGregor's going to come across the line first. Ben Fernandez picks up the win. Epic the Animal second. Ewan McGregor drops to third. Shay Fox up to fourth. T. Jonas into fifth. Alejandro Gapar is seventh. Kevin Harrison eighth. Paul Farthing drops all the way to ninth. Brennan Villegas with a 10th place finish. And these are obviously going to be unofficial results until everything is reviewed. And driver of the day is Bjorn Langfell. Not sure why. So Ben Fernandez finds himself on the podium once again, making it 3 for 3. He's batting 1,000 this year, 3 races, 3 podium finishes, 2 of them unofficially wins. So here's your unofficial results for today's Grand Prix. Ben Fernandez, Epic the Animal, that's Logan Aron. Ewan McGregor, Shay Fox in the 4th, T. Jonas 5th, Bjorn Langfell 6th. I guess he got driver of the day because he started 18th. Alejandro Gapar is 7th, Kevin Harrison 8th, Paul Farthing is 9th, Brennan Villegas is 10th, and then Sassy Pickle 11th, James Hallworth 12th, Chris Van Ravenhorst is 13th. Sandre Sauerhog is 14th, and then Rowan Lakely's car credited with 15th. He had internet issues and did not really participate in the race. And then we've got DNFs from Peter Sundberg, Thomas Sentner, Paco Suarez, Daniel Field, and Baboon J. What an unbelievable race. So guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Twitter at F1_IRL. And you can check us out again next week when we pick up round 4, which will be... Ooh, that'll be at the new Zandvoort circuit, so that'll be interesting to watch. That is a really fun track to drive on, so be sure to check that out. It'll be the first time IRL's been to Zandvoort. Obviously, it was supposed to be on the real F1 calendar this year, so be sure to check us out for that next week. And be sure to stay tuned on Twitter, again, at F1_IRL for all the official results of today's race, as all the times and penalties have to be allocated for. So congratulations to Ben Fernandez on his win. We will see everybody at the next round.